Our guest is a Second World War veteran whose service has been recognized by 4 countries: Canada, England, Belgium, and France. Kenneth Brind was a navigator on a Lancaster with the RAF in squadrons 617, 625, and 626. And my first question for Ken is, what does GEE mean to a navigator?
Well, G is a navigational box carried in the airplane, and it receives it's not messages, I suppose, but it's a way of plotting a line on a chart, and the G box collects 3 of these and plots them, and the airplane is positioned at the point where they're all plotted, and it moves along, the airplane moves along, so the G box position naturally moves along with it.
So the G is the highway of the air.
You could call it that. Well, it's certainly a bomber command.
And in the Navy, G means the after-hours bar.
Yeah, well, not in the Air Force. No.
Can you tell us about the bomber stream?
Well, this was conceived really, I suppose, 1942, 43. And a stream is a confluence of many, many airplanes, all heading in the same direction and all at about the same height. You'll see that at any point in time, airplanes were converging on a starting point, and the starting points usually were the coast of well, the east coast anyway, of Britain, and they came in from all directions and met at the starting point, and then they all went off in the same direction, same height, same speed, so they stayed as a bunch or as a stream. And the stream would be for, I don't know, 50 miles or more, probably, and contained 300 or 400 airplanes, all with bomb loads. And on special occasions, there would be up to 1,000. The first 1,000 bomber raid was in 1942. And it developed from that point. They realized that it was mass destruction. And we destroyed factories, and we destroyed airfields, and we destroyed troop concentrations, and all that sort of thing. And the stream then flew through the target area and then dispersed to go home. We didn't keep the stream on much in the homeward journey. There were a few, because there were people who were going to head back in the same direction anyway. So, you know, they sort of stayed together. But we weren't like the Americans who flew in formation. This was not a formation. Everybody was flying at his own speed and his own height and his own course.
Do you have one outstanding memory from the Second World War?
Well, I have a lot, but I suppose the best memory of all was my last trip, which was a daylight. I did about half and half. I think it was 16 daylights and 14 night trips. And the very last one, of course, which was number 30, there was a lot of tension. People said, the guys on the squadrons used to say that if you didn't get the chop in the first 5 trips, you'd get it in your last 5. And here we were now with 29.
Oh.
And hoping not to get to the chop. And it was a daylight trip to a German city. No, I'm speaking from memory. I don't remember the name of it, quite frankly, the name of the town. But we were bombing at about 12,000 feet, which is low for Bomber Command. And we did a lot of trips which were much, much lower later on. But here we were at 12,000 feet with the full bomb load on, nicely in the stream and on time. So we're going across, and bright daylight, bright sunshine, and we're going across the target. And as was customary, when I brought the airplane to the target area, the bomb aimer took over, and I would get out of my seat and have a look around, see what was going on outside. And as we approached the target area, I could see airplanes, Lancasters, all around. And looking ahead, the aircraft, which was number 2 in front of us, was shot down. And then shortly after that, number 1 got a direct hit. So now we're the next in line. So we're going across the target, fingers crossed, you know. The airplane behind us was shot down. So that was I suppose, the most dramatic thing that happened to me.
I'm sure that was dramatic. And now, here at the British Columbia Aviation Museum at YYJ, you can follow the restoration of Avro Lancaster FM 104.